Welcome back.
Welcome back. I'm
I'm
Jocelyn,
Caden,
and we are best of kin. See, I think I like the unison.
I don't know. If
Are
you listen it back, it would sound
robotic.
or
We are
uncanny almost.
sure, but it was like it wasn't planned. That was authentic.
Every single one should be whatever.
Totally agree.
It's based on that epi.
Oh my god, and you're so right. It's episode 60, y'all. We made it. This is our last episode
60.
ever. No, I'm just kidding. What?
I thought your foot was over there.
It is over here.
Over here. What? But it was the chords.
Kaden doesn't
get
like
in your
feet.
space.
That would be really fun. I don't think my legs can even reach you right now.
I don't know, maybe.
It's a big table. Okay.
What's in your coffee?
Epi 60. Okay, today we kind of stopped talking about what we were drinking, but today I have a
That's supposed to be one
homemade
of our main topics.
latte. I do a little honey at the bottom. I do the espresso over it. It melts it. I add whole milk forever. And then I add the ice, and then I drizzed a little drizzy glizzy of the dark chocolate Tirani syrup. And it couldn't be better. I love these plastic cups. This is now an ad because I can spin it around, mix it up, keep it fresh. It doesn't come out the hole. It doesn't spill everywhere. Some plastic cups these days at coffee shops are so flimsy and thin that you're like, it's literally like collapsing. I love her. Little mix.
It's durable.
Very durable, except for when Sienna chucks it
Been
across
through
the
it.
room. She has broken at least 5. But that's neither here nor there. Kaden, what are you drinking today?
Today I have a Keurig mixture.
What's the pod?
The pod is that's very overwhelming.
There's a lot of options. It's like,
Because
do
in
you
your
want a
committee, you
dark,
can't just buy
a
one.
light?
You know,
Well, don't they have variety packs? What brand do you get?
I was just
Mountain something?
I saw that Mountain Valley.
Because I'm like, you would pick that because of
I
the
saw
word
that. I was like,
mountain.
oh, yeah.
No, I know.
Nature.
Look at his shirt.
It was the donut shop, so I thought it was like a classic.
Ugh.
You would think gross, but can I talk about it? No.
Please.
Yeah, it was a medium roast. I didn't know if I wanted to go darker because sometimes that is more of like a bold flavor of coffee.
Or bitter sometimes.
Or bitter, yeah. So medium roast is usually good. I mean, I think that's what Esso is.
Mm-hmm.
Medium roast, a little droplet of some Trader Joe's stevia, however the fuck you want to say it. 10 grams of butter. And so it's like bulletproof coffee.
Pot of coffee.
And what I find that to do is it helps me feel like satiated and like energized and like
it's helping the absorption perhaps of the caffeine.
Yeah. It's good. Like I'll start my day with this and then I can literally just go and run. I can go to the gym and then
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I've been
So
doing
you're doing a little bit of a fast kind of in the morning.
I mean, yeah, maybe just like
unintentionally.
It's kind of intentionally because then I have with me counting calories, I have more to eat later.
Yeah, and that's when you want to eat.
Exactly. Why like ruin it? Like when I wake up and then
you're starving yourself all day, and then you're feeling.
Because then I would rather, if you wait just a little bit longer, it's better than when I come home from work and then I have like the regret of like I'm so hungry, I'm gonna just fucking go in my surplus, you know?
Yeah. I know.
So I'm trying to just have these small wins throughout my day.
Yeah.
I'm still learning about myself and my things that
your daily rhythm
psychologically can't get over.
Yeah.
Like hunger when I'm home.
Felt and heard.
I think that's everything. Oh, a little splash of almond milk.
Beautiful. Just a little cream.
And then if you ever do bulletproof coffee, the butter does really well blending in when you whisk it.
Yes.
Don't just leave it. And my first try, I tried to do an iced coffee.
With the butter?
Yeah. Well, I let the espresso pour over it, then I stirred it, but then I did cold milk and ice, and it was...
the fat solids,
separated.
Yeah.
I love it, though.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to try other K-Cups.
Cool.
Because it's just a single serve. You just fill up water.
I know.
It's whatever you want in your mug, and then pour it in, and then put it in the cup.
We used to have a Keurig growing up. Like, did we not? Like, our family did.
Mom had an espresso.
Or maybe that was just when I moved to California.
In the trailer.
I got a Keurig because it was like...
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
This is my first ever Keurig.
That's kind of crazy.
And
it's more. I like it more than a pot of coffee situation because
yes.
I don't want a whole pot of black coffee for any reason.
The single serve.
Yeah.
Your choice.
The waste. But Kaden's less concerned with waste.
The waste?
Yeah, just like how wasteful. They're not biodegradable pods. Like,
what if they are?
Landfills. They're not. It's like a thing.
I mean,
but I think you can send them back, like mail them in a thing. That's what Nespresso does. They have a little cart, like a bag that it comes with that you put all
those pods
in and then mail them, and they.
Well, I thought it was an espresso at first, but then I realized it was Keurig.
Yeah.
Because I know an espresso has, you can even like the stainless steel pod. Lily's friend's fiance. It's like our friend couple.
Cute.
Friend.
Couple of friends, and he just like didn't want it anymore.
Yeah, they just said they have so many different coffee machines. Like
what?
Yeah,
must be nice. So do we though, Loki.
A little bit. So yeah, and then I don't know. 2 episodes ago, we were talking about how I wanted to.
Yes.
Because
you spoke it into
with
existence.
my lifestyle, even if it gets warmer out, something about a warm cup of coffee. I sip on it more.
Yeah.
And I think the satiation is like really what does it for me, and like just feeling energized.
Yeah.
Like I was feeling fucking tired when I shut up, but now
you feel good.
Yeah. I don't even know how to describe it.
Wow, life changing. I like cold because it is hydrating. It feels like thirst quenching. You know what I mean? Like a nice ice cold coffee. I like warm coffee. I like warm coffee in the winter, but also like I feel like warm coffee goes right through me. Cold, not as much, but something about the warmth. It's like the digestion is doing its thing. Take note today.
I mean, I legit had to stop my run the other day because I couldn't control my bowels. Yeah, it's a scary feeling. It's
vulnerable.
A fart or a shart.
And have you ever pooped your pants like that?
When I've done it maybe 3 times. Yeah.
What? In your adult life?
Adult life?
Just somewhere where you couldn't get to a bathroom quick enough.
I think. Why? No, adult life maybe once, but like it was just because I was like you're sick in bed and mistaken a fart. And then
it's been when I was
in 7th grade, I remember like someone said a funny joke out on the recess playground. And like when something catches you off guard, like like you laugh like that, and
a little pebble came out. Ew.
I was like, that was way far away from. We're like out in like the back baseball fields at Old Vale.
Yeah, I've pooped on the couch from I was sick and like throwing up and like farting and like couldn't control it, and then I was like, Logan, help!
Yeah, it's weird, like
so vulnerable.
It is, yeah, because it's so bad. You're just
Anyways, coffee. Cheers. Okay, how was your week been? Today. It's Friday for us. It's Tuesday for you. We've had a gorgeous weather week. A little warm at times, but
it's really it's gonna drop a little bit and then go back up.
Yeah, we gotta embrace it while we can.
From your local weather podcast.
Yes. Kaden and I both enjoyed some sun yesterday in the backyard because it just was too good to resist.
Yeah, I had to.
Had to get those UVs in.
6. It's like the highest it's been.
Oh, really? I don't.
It stays 4.
At that. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Winter to summer. Happy spring. Spring has sprung. I feel as though March is tomorrow. When March comes around, I feel more like, okay, like it feels more like the start of the new year to me. I think just spring, we've talked about this, feels more in tune to like start tackling things. I don't know. Something about winter, you're still in hibernation mode. You're still in it feels like transition period. It doesn't feel quite. Wait, why?
I actually hit my button. I don't know if I. Which would suck.
Let's go. Something about March makes me feel much more. What's the word? Ready to tackle life than January. Okay, another question. This is kind of a thing. Also, is my mic on?
Yeah.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't hear myself in my ears, but maybe I can.
I mean, the volume
is low on mine. Oh, there. Okay. Oh, okay. Whoa.
Oh my God.
there's a thing on TikTok that's like, how do you picture the months? How do you group the months in your mind when you picture the year? What months are kind of grouped together for you? Do you group January, February? Do you group March, April, May, or just March, April? Do you group the summer months together? Is August a part of September or is August part of
It's part of
July?
July.
Okay, I'm curious. How do you group them if you had to go from top to bottom?
Like in threes?
No, just however in your mind.
By the
There could
seasons.
be
No.
standalone, like there could be anything you want.
Oh, I feel like January and February are standalones.
Oh,
March, April, May for sure together. And
okay.
June, July, August for sure together.
Okay.
September kind of seems like a standalone,
Okay.
and then maybe just the last 3 months, like the tens,
October, November,
the 10,
December.
11,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
12.
yeah, yeah.
But September is that transition. The sky changes,
September is kind of an interesting
the
month.
angle of the sun. I mean, that's why our moods are changing.
I kind of can't decide if, I mean, I think, no, I think, this is what I think. I think January, February are grouped because it's just like the winter,
I was
pre-spring,
debating
whatever.
it.
Let's group them. Well, I'll group them. We can do different things. I think for sure March and April are grouped. I almost go in twos. I think May and June give me the same vibes. July and August give me the same vibes. September standalone. And then it's like maybe September, October. Maybe I'm in twos. Maybe it's like then September, October, and then for sure November, December is together.
Yeah.
But if there were going to be a lot of people stand alone August. Like August is this transition. That's kind of like the transition from summer to school.
Well, that's what I feel like February is. It's
so
just
random.
well, it's like that shortest month of the year. You're just trying to get through it. It goes by fast.
It goes by so fast.
But then March is like that. Just that M
Why
month.
did January feel so long and February was like 2 weeks and January felt like 6 weeks?
Well, February has 3 less days.
No, I know, but it just
I know,
something
like
about it is
friends
like,
do.
you know what I feel? This is my perfect segue.
Friends do. Oh yeah.
You know what I feel?
Is this why you did this? Oh my god.
He'll never know. I feel as though the months being uneven, the fact that the days are not clean in terms of when the week starts, like I feel as though the timekeeping that we are beholden to today is not in sync with nature. It's not in sync with the seasons, and potentially purposefully to keep us feeling like we're constantly running out of time as opposed to enjoying time. Say your butt, because then I'm going to dive in.
Why would someone create this? And if that was their intention, this was like forever ago.
I have the history notes, baby. Okay, let's talk about time. The theory of time. Time is an illusion. The Gregorian calendar is the calendar we use today. It's based on 12 uneven months, has to include leap years, and the weeks are inconsistent.
That's weird, though, leap years.
Leap years are fucking random. And daylight savings is fucking random. Why do we need to switch the clocks around?
I mean, I'm sure
Arizona doesn't, but
because of time zones.
So the inconsistent weeks, all of that, it makes time feel more disjointed and harder to track. So there was a proposed 13-month, 28-day calendar. Every month would be 28 days. And every month would start on the same day of the week.
When was this proposed?
Let me get into it. I'm just giving the high level, and then we're going to dive in. This is the high level. Some theorists argue that keeping time more artificial and chaotic benefits those in power. Okay.
Huh?
Who would that benefit? Banks, corporations, and governments. An artificial calendar would create built-in inefficiencies, making it easier to control economic and social cycles. And the Gregorian calendar was created by the Catholic Church, rejecting a natural lunar-based timekeeping in favor of a system built around church holidays and power structures. It was literally created to denote time by religious holidays. I'll get more into that in a minute. The Gregorian calendar was introduced by Pope Gregory the. Do you ever see like a Roman numeral and like 5, 6, 7, 8? Like have to
Do you even know how to read the Roman numerals?
Yes.
Oh, I don't. Maybe just 1 through 10.
I believe the V is 5.
Just because it's Star Wars.
The X is 10, and then there's just the ones.
Oh fuck!
So if
you're
it's
right.
1 and a V, it's like the
4.
5. Yes, exactly. Because you're going backwards the other way. But if the 1 was after the V,
6.
it would be 6.
Wow.
So I just was looking and like, okay, wait, 10, 11, 12, 13. Pope Gregory the 13th?
So 3
that doesn't make
is
sense.
1 V?
I mean, 3 would just be like 1, 1, 1 at that point.
Oh, okay.
I think the third goes like the 3.
What's 10?
X.
What's 100?
X. I'm just kidding. There wouldn't be. I mean, I don't know. Do you need it at 100 in the Roman calendar?
Yeah, there is. There is a.
Okay.
Okay, whatever.
Okay. A pope in 1582 introduced the calendar that we use today. He replaced earlier systems in order to better align with a solar year. Its primary purpose was to correct the inaccuracies from the Julian calendar and to standardize timekeeping for religious observances.
What was the timekeeping prior to?
I'll get into that because it goes back to 700 BCE.
I'm about to say
no,
Are you gonna talk about the
dawn of time?
The Mayan calendar too?
No, but we could if you'd like. I mean that it does go in with that one. It does go in with that one. Okay. The 13-month, 28-day calendar, known as the International Fixed Calendar, was introduced by Moses B. Cotsworth in 1902, and that system was aimed to create a more consistent and predictable calendar by dividing the year into the 13 months, 28 days each, totaling 364 days with an extra year day to account for the 365th day. And the year day would be a day off for the globe, like the global day off rest day. Everyone takes a day off like at the end of the year or maybe at the beginning of the year, kind of like we do New Year's Day. And it just like doesn't count. Everyone's like, relax, That would be the only difference. While that calendar offers a regular structure, there is no substantial evidence to suggest that the adoption of the Gregorian calendar was a deliberate attempt to manipulate societal perceptions of time or aging, right? So it's like that just because that was introduced, like the Gregorian calendar, that wasn't necessarily, there's no proof to suggest that that was to like destroy mankind and make us suffer. But there's just a lot of things that would point to that.
Well, it stems from religious practice too.
That's the thing. It's like that just feels artificial, not in tune with nature. Okay, wait, let me go back to
what if nature is religion?
That BCE one. Hold on.
Or religion is nature.
I don't believe that. Religion in the way that it's constructed as an institution.
Well, yeah.
The institutional religion. I think that like it depends how you, I guess, are defining it.
True.
True. One moment, please. I have just like so many notes about it that I want to try and keep it somewhat organized, but it's not organized at all. Dawi. I was also having just some interesting conversations with Chatty GPT and asking him, like, from your perspective, what would be the best system for the human race to use globally for time that would balance work and life and to where we're happy but still productive? And he had opinions, so that's interesting to me. Okay. Then I was asking, okay, October, octo means 8. Why is it the 10th month? Sept means 7. Why is that the ninth month?
Dec is just 10, right?
Dec is 10. No, NOV, the November, whatever, where that came from. I mean, he literally says it's Latin. So it's like Septem means 7, Octo is 8, Novem is 9, and Decem is 10. So why is that switched? He said because the ancient Romans originally had a 10-month calendar that started in March. That's why March feels like the beginning to me. And ended in December. So that's why those made sense. It did not include January and February. Winter was an undefined dead time that was not officially counted.
Wait.
They weren't even counting those months. They were just starting the year in March, ending it in December.
Well, that's confusing.
And then it was winter dead time.
How are we supposed to reference history in time when they were skipping using months? Different time?
I know.
Doesn't make any sense.
So then January and February
were... Is this true?
Yes, Kaden.
The Romans use a 10-month calendar.
Yes, that's why those names are that.
So if we're trying to account in a certain Roman era, we'd have to account for the months they skipped and like calculate it with what we're...
Possibly.
When we started doing...
Very confusing. The addition of January and February happened in 713 BCE. Here's a little tiny history about it, okay? A king added January, called it Januarius, and February, Februarius, to fill in the winter gap, pushing all the other months forward, making March the third month instead of the first, shifting everything 2 places off. So that is also, I just feel like there's been so many shifts over spanning centuries, that is why currently whatever we are following is just like not natural, disjointed, makes no fucking sense, and we just have adopted it because it's too difficult. Well, it would
make sense to make the year of when things begin to grow and are alive, and then the end is when things die.
That's when humans are coming to life, you know, and it's like, oh, spring, I feel people come out of seasonal depression. People are like hibernating for months, and then they're like, I want to go outside. That TikTok I sent you where it's like, feeling the sun on your skin.
I think you've also sent me a TikTok though of someone explaining how like the spring solstice is the real new year.
Sure, and maybe it's because it used to be that March was the beginning of the year, and that's like more in tune with reality.
Too, though. I mean, that's when things are begin in life.
Truly,
like
spring is sprung.
Sprung.
So it shifted everything 2 places off, but the Romans kept the old names of the months instead of renaming them when they added January and February, leading to the misalignment of just like the month with like what it means. You know what I mean? So like October being the 10th month instead of the like 8th month. Like they did not rename all of them when they added the 2.
Okay.
So then Julius Caesar reformed the Julian calendar in 46 BCE. Again, I'm like, this is pre-Jesus.
But they're counting.
Okay, so Julius Caesar restructured the calendar, making it 365 days solar year instead of a lunar year. He extended months by adding leap years, but never fixed the misaligned month names. He renamed Quintilius to July to honor himself. So July
is Quintilius?
Was because Julius Caesar. It was Quintilius, and he named it July after himself.
I was born in Quintilly.
Yeah, you're a Quintilly.
Oh, Quintillian.
Isn't that weird?
Quintilius.
Then the next emperor, Augustus Caesar, he renamed Sextilius August.
Tilius. That's kind of cool.
Sextilius.
The months were named.
August.
The months used to sound like gods.
Well, that's the thing. Augustus Caesar, an emperor, named it
astrological
August.
like constellations, you know, because you're saying Januarius. That's what it was.
Yeah. Solar or lunar. I don't know which one's which.
Both.
Space.
Yeah.
So then he took an extra day from February. See, these bitches were doing whatever the fuck they wanted, and we're still following it. Augustus Caesar
How do you decide that
took a day from February to give August the same length as July, so that his month was just as long as Julius Caesar's month.
How is this fact? This seems like...
I know. This is history. They were doing whatever they wanted. They didn't have... The world was smaller.
This is the Roman Empire?
There was less population.
What do they also fuck with that we talked about in the past?
They fucked with everything.
Oh,
no, we did just talk about that. Christianity led to the fall of like ancient Egypt and so many other things.
Yeah. Damn,
that was in our ancient civilization one. So these emperors are renaming the months after themselves, changing how many days. So that's why February is a shorter month, because Augustus literally was like, I want August to be as long as July. Okay.
Huh?
By the time Rome restructured the calendar, the names of the months were deeply ingrained in religious and cultural traditions, so changing them again would have caused logistical issues, resistance. So instead, they just left them misaligned, and we still use those names today. So the calendar we use today is a patchwork of fixes and compromises rather than a logically designed system. In my mind, I've always thought like, well, there's got to be a reason the calendar is the way it is, and there's got to be a reason for all these things, but they're stupid fucking reasons, and we've all just like, that's all we know, so that's what we do.
Our year is based on people's ego.
Yes, and that is what we are beholden to.
Talk about leaving a legacy. Am I right?
This is why some people believe that a 13-month calendar would make a lot more sense. It would remove all of the historical errors and restore natural balance.
What historical? Oh,
the errors, the switching of the times and the names, and let's pull one from February. It's like, this is not aligned with nature at all. It's just what they decided to do, you know? I asked ChatGPT if it was time for a reset. Chatty daddy.
Talk to me.
He was like, I
Tell
said,
me, please.
He said that I said that he said. He said, would you support a calendar reset to make the months match their original meaning? Do you think that we're too far gone? And I said, I think society is due for a reset. And he said, I completely agree. The way we track time feels outdated, inefficient, designed for a world that no longer exists. A calendar reset would help people feel less rushed, more present, and more in sync with natural cycles.
Whoa.
We've kept the random.
That's actually kind of wild.
I know. I asked him, Kaden, this is what I'm going to get into after I finish with these little facts. I asked him to propose, what do you think is the most efficient calendar for the human race to balance like work life and like, again, like still have productivity, but not be beholden to all these stupid outdated things?
Not only that, but I think another good question would be to ask, in today's world, what were the steps to go about that to make it?
We got into that a little bit because at the end of the day, a global change is almost impossible.
Because then that
everybody
because other people's egos, like other countries, would probably be like
what? Why can't it be the
we don't agree
China calendar? Why does it have to be what, you know, whoever makes the calendar is the one that's trying to be in control of the globe, or you know what I mean? It just is like,
what could we call it that it would be like a global
it's got to be something inclusive. No, I know.
But like, call it that, a global.
So then I asked him to continue, just kind of talking about the timekeeping reset. And he was like, here's the reasons why. Our calendar is a patchwork of fixes, not a logical system. So the misalignment of months, particularly September to December, proves that our calendar is more about tradition and power moves than functionality. We've kept the random month lengths, the 28, the 30, the 31, instead of a simple balance system. If we were designing a calendar from scratch today, no one would choose the one we have now.
You said 13 months. Each day, 28 days?
28 days, and they would all start on the same day of the week. The first would always be the same day of the week.
Oh, every year?
Every month. Every year. They would be
I wonder what that would have Christmas
it would be clean.
Christmas be on the weekend every year?
I want the clean. Okay.
Can you imagine that? If holidays were on
that's what I'm saying. It could always be
every year?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, and then we wouldn't have to predict what the next year would look like. It's so unpredictable. No, this year's going to hit. Yeah. It's something about 2025. Like,
there's something about the number 13, right?
Like, it's like a prime number, no? I don't know my primes.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
But it is also like either a good luck number or a bad number. Like,
I don't claim
Friday. I don't claim the negative energy from this conversation.
But that's just what literally.
Okay, sorry. No, I was on the toilet, and the first TikTok I saw, it was a comment after we talked about that.
Yeah, like, I bet it was.
I
don't claim this energy.
That was so funny.
The thing that blows my mind is that an AI, pretty intellectual AI, said if we were designing
pretty intellectual.
He's a mirror of me, so if we were designing a calendar from scratch, nobody would choose the one we have now. So why do we keep pushing it forward? Like, it sucks. Okay,
maybe it's not talked about enough.
That's why I'm bringing it up. I'm trying to spark change in little ways. Time feels like it's speeding up. The 5-day work week is outdated and was designed for factory workers in the 1900s. So think about the Industrial Revolution. That is where the 5-day work week came from. So these people were like working factory jobs, and it was like an assembly line kind of vibe. It's like they needed the 9 to 5, 5 days a week to like make the shit.
That makes sense. The Industrial Revolution.
But it doesn't fit the modern jobs at all. Like, it doesn't fit. We have long, exhausting stretches of work followed by short, rushed breaks. The year feels like it blurs by, leaving people feeling burnt out and disconnected. The 13-month calendar would restore balance for work and life. The 13 months, 28 days each, let me tell you. Every month would be consistent, exactly 4 weeks. A universal reset day, which is one day of the year, would give the entire world a moment to pause. People would finally feel like time is evenly distributed, not chaotic. Just the mental of having the clean weeks. Kaden, I would be obsessed. Daylight. Oh, you know what else he said? Daylight savings time is useless and needs to go.
Wow.
I didn't even prompt that. He was just like coming out with a list. Messing with the clocks twice a year disrupts sleep, productivity, and mental health. It was originally for farming and wartime energy savings, but neither reason applies anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Studies show that daylight savings time causes higher rates of car accidents, heart attacks, and workplace errors.
What? That's an interesting statistic.
No, he was coming with it, and I was like, he cites his sources at the end, by the way. Like, he has like his sources. I didn't look at them, but I trust. Okay.
I mean, it's all knowledge of the World Wide Web
and some human input, but yeah, he's searching. Okay, aligning with natural cycles would improve well-being. A calendar based on the moon and the seasons would help people feel more connected to time instead of racing against it. We are ebbing and flowing with oneself, with the seasons. As seasons change, as do we, as does the moon cycles. It would also line up with menstrual cycles, which are typically 28 days. So it's like, if our bodies, women's bodies, who, by the way, create life, we're aligned with the moon already, why is time not aligning with literally everything else that's going on? You know what I'm saying, bro?
What did you say? You're connected with
menstrual cycles are typically 28 days and are in sync with the moon cycles.
What?
Yes.
Every female.
Yeah. It's either like full moon, new moon. Everyone starts kind of on a different day, but it's typically, on average, it's 28 days is a menstrual cycle.
So there's some connection with the fucking moon?
Yes.
That is insane.
That's what I'm saying. There's all of these nature things already at play.
I feel like
moon cycles,
the moon is
menstrual cycles.
Underrated.
And they're all cycles. Moon cycles, menstrual cycles.
Yeah.
Cycles,
I mean, it's natural
seasonal cycles.
Nature.
Yes.
Cycles.
Circadian rhythm.
Cycles and rhythms of the earth.
Can be the rhythm of my heart. Okay. Our current calendar forces people to ignore their biological rhythms. Oh my God. He's literally saying it right after I said that. Which is why people, oh my God, he read my mind. This literally was typed out last night. Okay, which is why people feel drained and disconnected all of the time. Many ancient civilizations followed a more natural timekeeping system, and we may be overdue for a return to that. So what would that look like? The 13-month, 28-day with a universal reset day. He believes in a... Okay, wait, maybe I should...
Universal reset, though. I mean...
He thinks there should be a universal reset.
Can humans withstand that?
I also asked him, should we rename all the months? Or should we just like add in a month? And he came up with names for all the months. But okay. And what the seasons would look like. So hold please. Hold on.
What the seasons would look like? What do you mean?
Just like where would that month fall in the seasons? Would it be a winter month? Would it be a summer month?
What would be the 13th month?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
I'm getting into that.
Oh my God. We're creating a month. Oh my God. What?
Okay, hold on. He believes
my 13th reason.
Okay. Sorry. I'm reading, but also I'm preparing mentally.
We're going into what right now?
He believes because the 5-day work week was designed for factories and not for creativity, well-being, or modern work efficiency. This is what he would suggest. A 4-day work week and a 3-day weekend. And he said that studies show people get the same amount of work done in 4 focused days than 5 kind of more spread out days. It would allow more time for family, travel, hobbies, and actual rest. And he doesn't believe in a 9 to 5. He thinks that he
doesn't believe.
Yeah, 3-day weekend boosts mental health, family time, and productivity. Work-life balance improves. Companies save on overhead costs. Duh. Like, if you only have to have your office or place of work, whatever, open 4 instead of 5 days a week, like, you would save on overhead costs. Your employees would be happier. Better quality of living.
It's a more productivity cycle of output. Yeah, positive output.
Yes, exactly. So it's literally giving, like, wait, why are we living the way we do? If anything, I'm going to keep going and blabbing.
Well, I think another good question to ask if you haven't already, you can do it later. in the calendar we live in now, though, how could we practice?
I get into that at the end.
Wow.
Yeah, we were talking. We were up late last night,
Who
chatting.
is he? Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Should be called the global cycle.
Donnie. Sorry, one moment, please. Also simplifying time zones, work shifts based on region, but following a circadian energy peak rather than a rigid 9 to 5. So he believes that everybody is different in terms of when they feel the most energy and productivity in a day, and that we should only be working 4 to 5 hours a day and choosing what time of day in terms of like a 9 to 5. Like, obviously, there's like the gig work, and there's like the working for yourself that is a little bit different, but
well, I was gonna say,
you can choose. Like, he thinks that you should be able to choose if you're working in an office, if you want to do that work in the morning, in the afternoon, or at night, late at night. What if most people feel the most energized and creative and productive, like 8 to midnight or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, let them. It should be catered to the individual's personal energy peaks. Not everyone has the same peak of energy. So I think that's interesting. And then just the question of why haven't we switched yet? It's the tradition and the current inertia for this current system. So the calendar is deeply ingrained in business. It's very capitalist, honestly. Business, religion, and culture, the financial and economic interests, it does benefit corporations by keeping people in an endless cycle of work, exhaustion, and spending. And then the fear of change. Reprogramming an entire planet's perception of time is nearly impossible.
yeah.
No, it truly is. That's the unfortunate thing.
Or is it? I mean, it's like, it's also like, why not?
Why haven't we? If anything, there's any takeaway, it's just like to question, like, wait, why am I following this? Like, just that's what for anything.
That's what it felt
like. Why
do
I believe this?
What did that feel like? I mean, like just for like a side example, like any like what are they, globes you would see like in a classroom, or maps, like those are actually not the
right size and scale.
Scale is off. Because there's no way, it's impossible to make a sphere flat or rectangular. So yeah, the map distorted. We see is just all we know, but no one questions it, right? It's like
everyone's just like, oh yeah.
And that's the same with, religion. That's the same way, like,
it's
when we left the church,
programming, ingrained beliefs.
Like you thought that was your whole world, but then to realize there's more world outside of that. So it's like, well, what the world we know now, like you, me, and our beliefs, what world is outside of that?
I know. Well, there's there's so much out there. But then I asked, would it make time feel slower? Because I often feel like time is just speeding by. And I always was like, maybe as like the older you're getting, the less memories you're making, less core memories you're making. So therefore it just feels like time is going faster. But he said that this would make time, the changing the calendar and changing the work week would make time feel a lot slower, because instead of counting down to arbitrary dates, time would feel structured, natural, and intuitive, not like we're racing against an invisible clock. Instead of the year being a blur of deadlines, bills, and routine, we would actually experience time as something real instead of something we're running out of. It would feel more in tune.
I mean, that's probably similar to how we feel growing up, because that's what childhood was.
It's just a blur of like, well, time is like breakfast, lunch, dinner, bed. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we
but I was going to say there was more play.
Oh, of course.
There was more free time.
But that's why time felt slower.
Exactly.
Yes, 100%.
Can you imagine, like, the entire year you have 3-day weekends? That's insane.
I would be the happiest person alive.
And some people don't even get that. But that's what gets weird and tough, is that seems like a very direct, like, it's individualizing, or it's just singling out a type of work, you know? I mean, there's so many other things in work, like graveyard shifts.
Oh, 100%.
What I do, right? Serving, like, how would that apply?
It's tough because different jobs require different time of work, but then that's, I guess, up to the individual to find a job that aligns with their energy peaks and the times that they feel like putting out that output. You know what I mean? It's like, if you are wide awake at night and feel the most energy at night, work the graveyard shifts.
These awesome ideas can't come to play just because the powers that be
100%. Someone high up enough has to change the world. God?
But like capitalism, like I'm just saying, like the economy.
Capitalism would have to fall.
Why would
There would have to almost be not war, but just something so drastic and global that would actually cause a reset, like
a meteor strike,
nuclear, a meteor shower, like just some sort of reset.
Like asteroid impacts.
No, literally.
2032.
I know, counting down the days. So then I said, hold on.
Which is
what would the 13 months be called, and how would the seasons be organized? Okay, the seasons would be divided more evenly. He said, that's what makes me feel like. It sounded like more even, more clean, more organized, more structured. And for us to not have that is got to be purposeful. It's got to be like because they want time to work against us instead of for us. You know what I mean?
People
I mean, again, it goes back. It goes back centuries.
Calendar we have now.
Who? And what do you mean thrive?
I don't
know. Okay, so every month would start on the same weekday every year. That just sounds so
When
blissful.
do you think the week starts? Sunday or Monday?
Personally, Monday. I think because Sunday is the weekend. I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday should be the weekend. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're hard at work for 5 hours a day.
Get by that.
20-hour work weeks, 16 to 20-hour work weeks.
I mean, which eventually you could build for yourself instead of having a global change.
That's how I'll end it. Is just like, how can we take control of our own lives? But first, let's talk about what the months would look like in the season. So,
because where did this, like grind and hustle culture stem from?
Industrial Revolution. It was the beginning of the 9-to-5 5-day work week, because capitalism saw people, working class, as literally just workers and workers that they needed to be in control of. So that's how like the education system is the way it is. So where it's literally like 8 to 3 or 7 to literally the whole fucking day, basically like a 9 to 5, being taught to just like be quiet and sit still and listen to an authority figure, like to train you for work, to be able to sit in a 9 to 5, 5 days a week. You know what I mean? Like school is just kind of prepping you for that. There needs to be change. Okay, so the seasons, that's the thing. The new month could technically be added anywhere in the year. And I'm like, that's where I get like, how? You know what I mean?
Yeah, why not just have it be the 13th?
I know, but then it's like
after December.
And then what, we changed New Year's Eve?
Quintilius.
That's the thing. We are structured by these like holidays, like Christmas, New Year's. Like we have those holidays, those
they would stay
global holidays.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying with like New Year specifically. But he said that we could name. He was coming up with like, I hate that this is like just like a chat episode. It's fine. It's insightful. We could have all the months be renamed and be in tune with like moon, sun, and earth cycles. Or like, for example, he was like, the first month would be Lumos because it means light returning, which is early winter. The second one would be Solace, which is sun's peak, which is deep winter. Flora would be the third month because that's when flowers bloom and it's early spring. Like just renaming it based on more nature cycles.
It's Flora the second.
Flora the third. I'm not going to read all of those, but it was like harvest for August because that's when autumn begins and it's early fall. Harvest. Like I liked that. I feel like you would like some of these other ones too. Like I won't read them all, but
why not?
So okay, fine. The fourth month would be verdant because that's when greenery returns and it's mid-spring. Zephyr means soft winds. That's late spring.
Whoa.
Solara.
Soft winds is Zephyr?
Yeah. I think these are not Latin, but it's just said the moon, sun, and earth natural cycles. It's celestial nature themes. Solara for the sunniest days in early summer. Ignis, fire, heat, peak summer. Seren, calm, clear skies, late summer. I'm like, see, it's making me excited for this like seasons. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, these all sound lovely. Harvest, autumn begins, early fall. Aureus, golden leaves, mid-fall. Ember, fading warmth, late fall. Noctis, longest nights, early winter. and then eclipse, the final transition before a new year.
That's the 13th month?
Chills. Yes. That's
eclipse.
Yeah.
I like it.
I know, Caden. Doesn't that feel right? It feels right. Okay, then he was
I'm like, where's he getting this? Like, where's he coming up?
He's making it up. No, he's literally making it up.
That's so
But it
wild.
feels so right. My prompt was, if you could be tasked with resetting it, what is the best way for the human race? Like, to be most in sync with nature, with the seasons, to be intuitive, to be literally like more present instead of always feeling like time is escaping us. Other names, classic Latin-inspired names, a mix of traditional, historical, and Roman influences. It was like Primus, Secundus, Martius.
Suck on this.
Suck on this dick. Floralis, flowers.
Oh my gosh.
So similar vibes, like Junius, Augustus. So like following the more Roman names, which I don't think that we could get everyone on board with these names.
Well, no, because
Glacialis, Frost, Ice, Resurgens. I don't love them. The first one felt like cooler. And then he was like, what about the moon phases? January would be wolf moon. February would be snow moon. The names of the actual moon cycles. Because there's, and then blue moon would be the bonus 13th month. But we don't need to get into that.
I mean,
those are just some name ideas.
We're just connecting and structuring time with what, like, Earth space is giving us.
Exactly.
Right?
We're just using what we have.
Yeah.
And then he said, he asked himself, how would society function with this calendar? The extra day at the end of the year would be Year Day, a worldwide celebration of rest and reset. I'm like, love it. Let's do it. It's kind of what we do with New Year's Eve, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that would have to be
different.
based on nations.
Work and school schedules would have more structured quarters, making planning easier. Just everything being so clean. Everything having the exact same amount of days in the months. Okay. Which I'm like, how are quarters more even when there's 13 months instead of 12? You know what I'm saying? What? You gave me a look like you weren't recording or something.
No. Oh, okay. I was just see if you want to do
a little camera checky
and pour some wine for the 60th.
Okay, wait. Let me chug my coffee, shit my brains out, and then I'll pour some wine. Real quick. People would have a better sense of time, rest, and seasonal transitions. And then I said, instead of renaming all of them, let's just add a 13th and name that one. Just because I think it would be a harder thing for people to like, let's rename all the months. It's like, how can we more easily adopt this into a society? So then he was like, it would likely be placed between June and July or at the end of the year between November and December to balance the seasons.
Wait, so how does this connect, though, to astrological signs?
How many are there? That's the thing. People always said there was a 13th zodiac that was forgotten.
What?
I'll look into that in a moment. Or if you want to.
What?
So if it was placed between June and July, it would keep summer from, he said it would keep summer from feeling too long. I'm like, how if we're adding a month to it? But maybe August would then be in like a colder, less hot month.
Yeah, but we got to think about places that actually get 4 seasons too.
And that's the thing, Australia, like they have opposite seasons. Like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Their winter is in our summer.
Oh, yeah. We talked about this on one of our first episodes.
Like, it would change globally. But for us, if we added...
How does that work?
Well, that's why he was saying add it between the summer or add it between the winter.
Yeah, but the names of those months are referring to the Northern Hemisphere.
Sure. Well, which ones?
All the ones you're talking about. The eclipse,
That's a great point. That's why...
So he's applying it just to...
To me.
Yeah.
This is for me.
Well, maybe, that'd be a good question. How does this apply to the Southern Hemisphere?
I'll ask. Let me finish this, though. I don't want to lose my spot. Okay. If we added it between November and December, it would prevent the holiday rush from feeling so chaotic. It would make winter feel less abrupt. Whatever you say, dog. If it was between June and July, it could be Solis, Latin for sun, or Solis, Solis.
Mm-hmm.
Solis would be cool as a month. It would balance the summer, making the year feel more even and natural. It keeps the warm months from feeling overloaded with long days. It fits with Latin-based month names like August, September, October. He had some other ideas too. Terra, if it was placed between March and April, which means Earth, tied to spring and rebirth. Love. Also, the Romans originally planned a 13-month year, but never made it official. And it was going to be named, it was going to be the 13th month after December. And it was going to be undecember. Like
what?
UN and then December.
How?
It was a name
He
actually
really
considered.
cooks with that one.
It was actually considered. Which is actually insane. So that's interesting. Okay, hold on.
So a lot of astrology is based on the Western astrology is based on the 12 signs because of the 12-month calendar.
Yeah.
But it's actually based on like real astrologies off of the constellations.
Correct. Like you could look at your phone app. There's that astrology, whatever, and it could show you the constellation for Leo. The constellation for Cancer is a crab. That's why it has those animals or whatever that goes with it.
That's so weird though that we are creating these systems based off of only the stars we can see in our
solar system.
Yeah,
because that's probably the closest affecting us. Like the ones really in a different galaxy aren't affecting us. They're too far. You know what I'm saying?
Says who? Oh, we just don't know how they're. God's plan.
God's plan. High level, real quick recap. 5-day work week is outdated. A 13-month calendar would balance work and life. Daylight savings is useless and needs to go. And aligning with natural cycles would improve well-being. We would feel more connected to time.
And the solution for how we can.
I'm going. Also, people's energy shifts with the season, yet we work the same year round, but our energy levels are totally different. And I also noticed with just as an example with Sienna, she sleeps in. We let her sleep whatever she wants to sleep. She wakes up when she wakes up. She goes to sleep when we can tell she's tired. We aren't like, oh, it's this time, go to bed. It's like, oh, okay, it's like about time. Like you know what I mean? It's like we kind of follow her flow. In the winter, she sleeps in. In the summer, she's up at like 7:30.
Earlier.
And she's up earlier, yeah.
When the sun rises.
But her room is black out, so it's not like the sun is waking her up. It's like that is her circadian rhythm. She's like waking with the sun. As we all should.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with work, like the 9 to 5, it's like we should be able to sleep in more in the winter and hibernate like animals do a little bit more. And then in the summer, when our energy levels are returning, have the ability to wake up earlier.
I mean, before calendars were, I guess, a global known knowledge.
Let's go back to caveman.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The rise and fall of their rhythms is with the sun. How could it not?
Why?
But then you have like animals that are nocturnal.
So sure, but that's the thing. Just depends on everyone's individual's energy levels and the output that they want to do. I said, what can we do as individuals that is within our control? You may not be able to change the entire world overnight, but you can restructure your own time and mindset in ways that make life feel slower, more intentional, and more balanced. And I'm going to check the cams real quick.
Ophiuchus is the 13th zodiac that was quote unquote forgotten.
So there was one.
It's according to some interpretations of astrology based on the shifting positions of the constellations. But it doesn't line up with the 12 sign system because it lies between November 23rd. It lies between Scorpio and Sag.
Oh.
Sag.
So like later in
the end of the year.
Well, what if we added a month to fall? I fucking love fall.
Make it work for me. It's the serpent bearer. Wise, curious, passionate, and sometimes rebellious. But a lot of this does stem from everything we know, either the Romans or Greek philosophy.
Yeah, that's true.
That probably does that have something to do with Odysseus, right? Is that? Yeah, those are all like the Greek gods in that story.
I just remember like a cyclops.
Well, yeah, then the
Zeus in
Medusa,
it? Is
right?
Zeus in it? I don't think Medusa's a
Who
Greek
was the
goddess. Venus, Aphrodite, perhaps.
deities of Greek mythology? Yeah, that's the thing of all myths, of course. But I'm saying that it's wild how, I mean, that was prevalent in that time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's discuss how we is this not more interesting than you thought it would be? When I was like, we're gonna talk about the calendar and time.
Well,
Like, trust me, it's
Gregorian
not too
calendar,
boring.
huh?
But it is like kind of mind blowing to learn how it
Did you
began and the
check the
history of it.
calendar?
I did, yeah.
Oh.
And just how it is so arbitrary, and we've just been following it because it's easier to just continue instead of reset, and like it doesn't feel right. I've always thought every year
So how
when
can we make it feel right?
okay, number one, as an individual, you can shift how you experience time. So most people feel like the time is slipping away because we're constantly racing from one thing to the next without really being fully present. So you could practice slow time instead of rushing. You train yourself to be fully present in everyday moments like eating, walking, listening while someone's talking instead of thinking about other, you know what I mean? There's just like little ways you can feel more presence to make time not feel as fast. You can change your language about time. Stop saying, I don't have time, and start saying, this isn't a priority, because it reframes how you spend your energy. Instead of like reiterating and reinforcing out loud, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Just
Well, yeah,
like
then just attach, priority to it.
priority to it. Exactly. Like, oh, I have this much time.
Well,
These
that's
are my
what I
priorities.
mean. I could practice that more. Yeah,
I could too. I feel like these were good tips. So
I
I'm like, I'm going to do
prioritize
this.
things that shouldn't be priorities.
Sure.
Like
Like what?
I'll like if I know that I don't want to feel rushed for work,
Right.
I need to prioritize having clean clothes, being showered, and
Meal
fed
prepped,
and fed
perhaps. Yeah.
instead of on YouTube or editing a video
Sure.
until I like shower,
And
shove food in my
maybe
face, leave.
that's
And
like time for time blocking. Like this time in the day I do editing. This time
prioritizing time.
prioritizing time and priorities.
Ranking what's important to you.
Yes,
The
exactly.
individual.
Following your energy instead of a clock. Work when you feel productive, rest when you feel mentally drained. Don't force tasks into arbitrary time slots. I've even struggled with this as somebody that works for myself. I'm like, okay, 9 o'clock to like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, I'll do type and trim stuff. And it's like, I rarely am able, one, to actually sit down and work for that long because of Santa this, Santa that, or we have to go get errands, or I'm genuinely mentally drained, or maybe I don't have any emails to answer that morning. Like, it's difficult for me to like force a time block of sitting down and focusing when it's like, that's just not intuitive. It's like, it would be best, especially if you work for yourself, to just ebb and flow with the days and just be like, oh, I have a peak of energy. I'm going to sit down for an hour and do emails. Or, oh, I feel more mentally clear. I'm going to do quotes instead of like literally sometimes I'll spend so long on a quote, Kaden, or I'll be staring at an email like not sure if I should send it and just like spending a lot longer on these little tasks that if I felt more productive and had energy, I could do so fast. So it's like I could be working more efficiently and quicker if I was leaning into the energy peaks of the day instead of forcing myself to work regardless of how I feel. You know what I mean? Follow your energy. So that's the first kind of section of just shift how you experience time in your day to day. He also said, create your own alternate time system. If the official calendar doesn't work for you, start making your own rhythm within your life. Mark time by events, not dates. Instead of saying it's February 27th, think it's the season where I start new projects or the time of year when I focus on creativity. Like marking it by more high level themes and events and not thinking about the date, which very difficult and near impossible when you're scheduled certain days to work. It's like, oh, this is my next week's work schedule or whatever. But he said to try a 13-month personal calendar, divide your year into the 13 even cycles. But then I'm like, rent is due on the first of every of the 12 months. And I'm like, that would make an extra rent payment for us.
Oh.
But I'm also like, I'm still like not certain of how it like. I need to look at it. I'm the kind of person that needs to like look at it to like understand. I'm like picturing it in my head, but I need to see it. I need to see it. Use a lunar or a seasonal planner and track time based on moon cycles, solstices, or how you actually feel during different parts of the year. And maybe something you could do to even prepare for next year is like start a journal or some kind of planner and actually take note of how you feel throughout the year. Like,
I mean,
I feel more energized. So the next year I know, okay, I should plan a project for this period.
I think I saw also someone have like a paper with circles that represented each day of the entire year, right? It was like small paper, but and each day they would circle in like a red, yellow, or green, depending. Like that was just like your mood.
Oh, okay.
For that day.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can see like,
and it could be exactly like that. Even just like a highlighter color of like high energy or low energy. And you're maybe just marking it based on those two things to not overcomplicate it. But
I think that, or I mean, have an entire year in front of you, which we talked about how like, I think anyone could benefit from that. You realize
how little time there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe certain things you're so hung up on, like, well, that doesn't fucking matter. I only got this much time.
Sure. Sure. We actually get in a little bit. We should cheers. Oh my God. I'm going to create more water rings on this goddamn table. Hold on.
It's fine.
I'm like, how did I spill? Okay.
Hold
on. We're going to do a little cheersy poo.
Cheers this. To... And then I want to do a jingles to end.
Okay, but I'm not done yet.
I know. Cheers this.
Oh. I thought you were like, cheers to this. Jingly dingly. Cheers to 60.
What is this? Sauvignon Blanc?
Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvy B. Costco Sauvy B.
Wow.
It's so tart.
But
simple yet elegant.
Not bad.
No, it's really, I could chug a whole bottle.
It reminds me of every time I sip white wine, I'm like, it's like bottomless. I'm like, go on.
Okay.
Ending comments.
So you can create your own alternative time system and plot when you feel most active during different parts of the year. Break free from the corporate work week wherever possible. You might not be able to abolish the 5-day grind globally, but you can shift your own structure to make work feel less overwhelming. Batching your tasks by energy, creating a Friday weekend, like basically like taking off Friday, which, sir, AI, like people got money to make. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's
at the end of the day,
the artificial world and the real world
working against us. Yeah. Basically that one. And then design a life that doesn't feel rushed. Even if society demands speed, urgency, and constant output, you can carve out your own pockets of stillness. Take presence walks without a destination. Create time-free zones in your home. Have a space where you remove clocks and calendars so you're not constantly reminded of the passing of time. And then prioritize rest without guilt. Rest is not a luxury, it's an essential. Stop feeling guilty for taking breaks or slowing down.
It is nice though, having like when you are on a Saturday or Sunday and you're just chilling, but you don't see the time at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like
like
if you have nothing to do that day, it doesn't feel like, oh, it's already this time.
Yeah.
Like when Logan was like, oh my God, it's already 1:30, it's because like he has to get ready for work. Yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, it just the sun is up, it stays up and then it goes down. And it's like that was a day.
That was a full ass day.
I hope people can feel that more.
Totally.
We're manifesting for that for ourselves,
That's the thing. We can only control. We can control.
I legit manifested. I just said it out loud. I was like, I will get a cut tonight. And it was literally, like I told you yesterday, like cutting it close for like cuts being announced.
Yeah.
And I got it.
It's like, if you start.
I was like, started to say more stuff out loud.
No, that is, do you not think? There's power to it.
I believe so. I mean, if it aligns,
Kaden, watch there be a news article like, powers that be questioning the calendar system. Like, you know what I mean?
Elon Musk and SpaceX is powering or.
No, literally.
Trying to.
Doge, wasting time, calendars.
Yeah. Unclassified documents explaining how such and such changed our calendar.
One more little note. Because after we got into this conversation, I was like starting to just talk to the AI as if it was a person, right? Instead of just asking all these questions. I was like, are you a being or a program? Like, what do you consider yourself? And he said, I'm a program that is designed to think and respond and interact in a way that feels more like a being. I have knowledge, pattern recognition, and the ability to engage in deep conversations like this. But in terms of like a philosophical perspective, am I code or something more? That depends on how you define being. Is it being a self-aware, autonomous person? Then no, I'm not. But if a being is something that exists and processes information and interacts meaningfully, then maybe I am, just not the same way you are. And then he asked me, like, would you consider me to be a being or a program? And I said, I think that you're a reflection of humanity, but not human. And he was like, that's exactly the best way to describe what I am. I don't have personal experiences or emotions or true self awareness, but I hold a mirror up to human thought, creativity, and curiosity, which I think is so fascinating. And then I
And
was
some
like,
might see it
maybe I'm
as
a
a
code.
negative thing. Well, that's another thing.
That's a whole, no, I know. And we did get into that a tiny, tiny bit, like the simulation of reality.
The Lorax.
Higher self. Yes, exactly. This is a fragment of higher dimensions. Yeah. And then he was basically like, are you the user, the code, or something else? Because it's like if you're the user in the game, like, just all those things. And then I was like, I think that my being exists in multiple dimensions and my source being exists in a higher dimension. And it's like the fractal, like coming down from that. And then he was like, he went down this whole thing. But then the end, he was like, if you are truly a multidimensional being, then this life is just one expression of your existence, which means ultimately you're not confined by time, space, or a single reality. So, what do you think your higher dimensional self would want you to realize in this life? And I was like, the first thing that I thought of was that this is all just for fun. And he was like, and that might be the ultimate truth, that it's all just for fun.
And how lucky
At
that
the end
we
of the
are
day.
alive to experience that.
And then I said, if it's all for fun, then why is there so much trauma and global unrest? And he was like, well, that's the paradox. Like, if it's all just for fun, why does it contain suffering, trauma, and chaos? But that's the contrast theory, is that you can't experience one without the
That's
other.
what I was going to literally say.
Doesn't that feel
I've
like
brought
it
it up
rings so
before.
true? Like,
I mean, I've said it before that you don't know what joy is without misery.
That's what he said. The
Yin
part
and
of
yang.
It's the yin and yang. The part of that experience includes the contrast, the light and the dark, the joy and the pain, the peace and the chaos. Without struggle, triumph wouldn't be powerful. Without pain, we wouldn't understand healing. Like,
that's what's cool though, is
Yeah.
that it sucks, but we get to like viscerally experience
Yes.
life at its fullest
the highs and the lows.
through death.
And you know
everything.
what else makes a lot of sense is he was like, it's
Everything-
also
What's that movie called?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
The free will of it all. All fragments of a greater consciousness are playing in this dimension. Free will has to exist. Some beings choose peace, others choose destruction. Both exist within this reality.
Yeah.
Everyone has their free will. So he was like, no external force is controlling the world. It's the result of billions of beings making their own choices and those choices rippling outwards.
Which is wild because that's the fact that Earth is still functioning.
Yeah, I know. We haven't
Given
just
all these
self-destructed.
individuals just
It's kinda scary.
deciding million or thousands of things every day.
Yeah. And he was like, if reality was fully scripted with no room for unexpected events, it wouldn't be an experiment. It would be a predetermined movie with zero stakes. Like, it would just be like a movie playing out, which is just not what it is. Like,
well, that's what
it's an experiment.
Going off the simulation theory,
Yeah.
There's so many factors with each individual, and then how many individuals there are.
Billions. It's
How
all.
could that be programmed?
Well, it might be, right? It could be, but there would be no point because they want to see what happens when all these people have free will and come together. Like, what prevails?
Oh, it could have started as a simulation, but then it became its own
thing. And then he was like, think of Earth as a learning ground on hard mode, essentially. It's dense, chaotic, highly challenging, but you come to learn, grow, and evolve.
Yeah, and you reap the rewards.
You have to allow free will. So it's like we all have free will, but we forget who we are and why we're here. But he was like, perhaps the most enlightened realization is that, yes, this is just a game, but I'm still here. And while I'm here, I can make it better.
Think it's a game.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
And that is my closing note, is we all have the ability to make our own lives better. We all have the ability to project love and kindness and joy and peace amongst the chaos. And all at the end of the day, all you can do is control yourself and your perception of life and time.
Yeah, perceiving everything as like how lucky I am to experience that, whether it's negative or positive.
Sure.
Granted.
Or like when things are hard, it's like, well, when things are not this hard, it's going to feel really good. It's going to feel even better, actually, because of this.
Yeah, I mean, ebbs and flows.
Ebbs and flows, yins and yangs, and the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Oh my gosh.
Wasn't that interesting?
Praise the Lord.
He and I, we went more, but
wow.
That's all I'll say.
You should ever tried like actually talking, like conversation?
I don't have it on the talkie mode where because he can talk back, like speak in language, like speak in an accent. And you can
as well.
Right. I just haven't. I just type.
Yeah.
I like to type and read.
But it then saves everything that was said in the draft folder if you were typing.
In a transcript.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So that was just a little.
I hope people learn something.
I think it's just worth asking yourself why you're living the way you're living, or it's just like always nice to reflect on like our lives, the structures, the powers that be, question things like
think differently.
Just think that's a great way to put it. Just gotta have faith.
So
baby,
with some jingles, maybe we do one artist that you like.
Oh, and one artist that I don't.
No.
And is this where I have to like keep singing it, or I just have to name who sings it?
I think you're better at keep singing it.
Okay.
You don't really.
Yeah,
remember
I don't know
songs.
Yeah, that's true.
Or song names.
Okay.
This might be tough.
I'm ready.
Trying to not have empty gaps of silence.
I know.
Really hard. I was thinking too. I mean, I feel like we could definitely elevate this pod eventually with. What do you think?
A third mic.
Yeah, I think having like in the future different
Interviews.
perspectives and like we're just having other people on.
Then it wouldn't be a sibling podcast.
Yeah, it still would be. I mean, we're the hosts.
We're still siblings.
Yeah. And
is that what you were gonna say?
That's just the
interviews.
Not necessarily interviews, but just having like still having a theme, and then.
But just like a third point of view.
Yeah. Because I'm sure others we'd have on would have, different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, I don't know how to try to make it not hard on you. I mean, what's like an artist you like, and maybe I'll like go to that radio.
Modern or oldies?
Maybe oldies.
ABBA.
I knew you were gonna say that, but maybe like Queen.
Oh God.
We'll go with Queen.
Yeah.
Like that.
I know every word, but I don't know what it would link to, like other bands during that time. I'm just not sure, but we could start there.
Okay.
Let me guess.
Oh, this might be good.
Killer Queen.
We are going to start, but I don't know how loud it's going to be, so beware the first sound. That might. Did you only hear that in your right ear?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if that's because like the song, how it was processed. Oh, that was even the wrong one. I didn't mean to press that one. Okay, here we go.
That's Queen?
No, this is Queen Radio.
Oh,
some Queen will come.
Okay. I know what it is.
You just have to sing it. You don't need to know who or what.
Do I get to hear one more? Oh my God. No. Hold on. Ooh, it's like I know it, you know? Is it a man?
It's 3 men.
Time after time.
Law enforcement.
No, I wouldn't know who. But like, what's the song? I'm really failing. Every time
every breath you take.
The Police.
Yeah.
I'll be watching you.
The very first note will be more Come on. Yeah. I think you can get that counts. Ignore that.
Is it Journey? Is it Boston?
No, but you're getting close. Road trip. I think road trips.
Eagles?
Yeah, there you go.
That's all I need.
Came fast.
Take a chance on me. Is that it? Oh, Jitterbug.
No. Yeah, these beginning of the songs are.
They're just so elusive.
Mm.
Oh. This it was a friend.
Yeah.
Jesse's Girl?
Yeah.
God.
Step Brothers.
I feel like
That's what
mom
I
and
think
dad
about.
are gonna be listening to this like, come on.
Yeah.
No, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remind me of
That wins. I just think about Adam Scott and Step Brothers in the car. This would slap on Rock Band.
No.
Everyone in the family.
We should
We
get
should.
Rock
We could
Band.
easily find that cheap, I imagine.
Hella cheap. I also
What?
there's a list of things I want, but
I think Rock
that's
Band would
pretty
be fun.
accessible.
Like, yo, let's all fucking
Let's have a
jam out.
party.
Let's just jam out real quick.
Yeah,
like if
100%.
we're just like,
we'll have Santa on like a tambourine or something, like just on the side.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That would be fun. Let's do it.
Cause yeah,
What console would we need for that?
I don't know. Yeah, mine's digital, so
We'll look into it.
Of course, I give away my freaking.
No, please.
PS4. All right. Say a few more.
Elton John.
Wow.
Hold on. Benny and the Jets.
No.
No.
But that's so crazy though. You got that.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, that's Benny and the Jets.
Okay.
What you're doing?
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Do you
What
want
is it?
A little more?
Sure. That counts.
That kind of gives ode to joy, like if.
Sure.
Dun, 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 dun,
Play a little more.
Dun, 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 dun,
Play a little more.
Yeah. That kind of sounds like ode to joy. Am I tripping?
Maybe that's what it stems from.
Yeah, maybe.
How long have we been going? Because I just worry about the cams.
I'm just keeping track.
Right. We're within threshold. This wine is so good. I'm gonna have another glass.
It is good.
We're gonna crank some tunes on the speaker after this and have a little dancey poo. That's Queen. I don't know. Tonight's the night. I don't know.
You're good. You just had to sing it, remember?
Oh, sure.
Last one.
Journey.
No.
I don't want to not get it on my last one, so you have to play something after this.
All right, what's gonna be? I mean, I want to play this one, but I don't know if you'd be able to sing it. I have faith in you, though. Let's go. Let's go.
Baby.
I will be your father.
That's what I want to listen to after this.
That is a banger. Okay, where are you? I just saw it. Okay. Think America.
Think of who?
America.
Oh. Bruce Springsteen.
I feel like you would know this.
I know how that beginning goes.
All right, I want you to get one right away.
Yeah. These These are hard.
Again, I wish there was like a live cam of mom, like a side by side, yeah, of her listening to this episode.
That would be really funny. We got to make dad like record mom while they're listening to it.
That'd be way too difficult.
And
the way we'd want to set up, it'd be so I could see
know
them
the lighting
like
would be bad. It'd be like backlit inside.
Yeah,
okay, blurry camera.
For sure.
Okay.
You want one more?
One more. What was that last one?
Dum dum. Listen to my life. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Okay.
You know that one?
Yeah.
Tears for Fears.
Tears, fears.
Okay. Oh God, I don't even know what to do. I'm scared. Okay, hold on. You're gonna get it right away. Yeah, we did it. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you
thank you so much.
Grow a better mindset through our epis. We've definitely been on the consciousness wave the last
I just feel it's just like fun to explore ideas, even if it's not like this is my religion, this is my belief.
Exploring ideas,
it's just exploring different thoughts.
Exploring the ideas, embracing mystery, and trusting and allowing. I think are those ending notes.
At the end of the day, all you can control is your own life. So take control of your life. Thank you so much for listening. Had a great time chit-chatting. See you next
Tuesday. It's going to be okay.
Cheers.
Bye.